hard can it be to take a self-portrait? It can't be that hard, right? Is it everything ready? I don't know. It might be. My cat is sitting there, so she can make all the noises that she usually does. But I also have something nice to look at. Letting myself speak freely in English is not the best idea. But maybe I'm ready. I feel ready, I think. Okay, let's start. Hey, hello. This is a video. Hello everyone. In this video I'm gonna talk to you about the process that I follow when it comes to self-portraiture, which is practice that I often do since I started photography. My intention was not to show you exceptional photos, but to pretty much talk about the process I follow while actually doing it and sharing with you some parts of it as real as possible. So in this context, of course, you will see photos that I wouldn't normally show or use, but these are part of the real process that I go through. I hope this video is helpful for you in any way, sharing with you parts of my artistic practice and how I lead myself to the results I want, and also incorporate playfulness, improvisation and experimentation to the whole process. I packed up my stuff and headed to a friend's studio, planning to use the strobes and get into a new environment. Man, I'm so rusty. I took some shots here and there, and yeah, to warm up. As for the lights, I decided to go with a continuous light at 45 degrees and not use the strobes. Yeah, still wasn't feeling it, and don't even ask if I was inspired. I grabbed the first book that caught my eye, hoping it might spark something. Okay, this photographer is wild. She became a stalker to make her project happen. It's weird, but interesting. She went to Venice to follow a man that she had met at a party and phoned hundreds of hotels until she found where he was staying, and then persuaded someone that lived in the opposite building to let her photograph, when he was coming and when he was going. She's a French artist. She has some very interesting work, so yeah. Yeah, I wasn't liking anything I was doing. The book didn't help much. I took some shots like these. My mind was stuck on my problems, and I think that was the problem. I can't express myself when my head's full of thoughts and worries. So I went a little bit outside and tried to get some shots there in the yard, and this one was kind of showing the way I had to follow, but I couldn't really focus at that point. I had to leave. Going to the studio was my first mistake. I went in a studio where, everything feels a little bit more staged, and this is not what I really wanted. My mind was a little bit cluttered. I don't want to blame the studio for everything. I mean, the studio environment is not bad at all. It's actually sometimes very helpful to have controlled lighting, and you can feel free to create. But this is not what I wanted at that point. I wanted to be closer to the practice that I am following. So, and truth is, I rarely go, if ever, to a studio to take self-portraits for my personal work. So I needed to leave. I had to leave. When taking self-portraits and portraits, controlling the light source is a game changer, wherever you are. My second mistake, ignoring that. At home, I tried some self-portraits, but the lighting was terrible and uncontrollable, so I couldn't get the shots I envisioned. Okay, lighting was not my only problem. The main problem was that I was too much into my head. I tried fixing the lighting, by closing the window and setting up my continuous light, but inspiration still didn't strike. So yeah, I called it a day and decided to try again tomorrow. This was not what I wanted to happen. I needed to have at least one good photo. I needed something good to happen to make me feel like, worthy and all, like capable of doing what I like and taking a nice shot. But my mind was too full of my problems that I couldn't focus on what I was doing. My compositions were poor, lighting was not under control, and in general, I didn't know what I wanted to say. My mind couldn't concentrate in these things, I couldn't focus. The last few days have been a bit tough for me. I got a rejection from something that I was waiting for a few months now regarding my artistic journey. So yeah, I just got a rejection from this thing. I had to adjust to a new reality and find different ways to achieve my goals without this external validation that sometimes, guys, it's so much needed. An external validation, come on. Okay, this is a good chance for you guys to leave a like under the video, for the support, please. But yeah, I had to go on without it. I guess rejections are way more than successes in art. So, control light, check. Eliminate other light sources, check. Frame, check. Clothing, check. Prompts, check. This is very close to how I normally work for my self-portraits. When all the above are in control, I start from a simple idea, a feeling, and build it through improvising and experimenting. So yeah, these photographs are so much closer to what I wanted and what I envisioned because I incorporated a little bit more playfulness and I was more in the moment. Let's change now the setup. I think we're done here. Now, this is another mistake that I made. I usually like using hard light in my self-portraits. This is not a must. I also use soft lighting, but at that point, I really enjoyed using hard light and I felt like I was finding something. I rushed to change it. Why? I mean, can someone tell me why I keep changing things that I like and I enjoy? Do you know what's that's called? Do you know what's that? Do you know how this situation is called? I mean, is it self-sabotage? Is it just that I'm stupid? Please write in the comments, what do you think that is happening to me? That I keep changing things that I like? What could be more simple than that? So yeah, I also experimented a little bit with long exposures, but I didn't like the composition, the furniture, something was off. I didn't really feel like doing it, so yeah, I just took some shots and then dumped it. You might be wondering why I chose to make this video and show you photos that are not good, photos that don't work, and yeah, I'm asking myself the same thing. I mean, is it even interesting for you, this thing? It's difficult when you put yourself out there and you expose yourself online, it's people judge. But I like seeing the ugly parts of photography, what is happening behind the scenes, the process that an artist follows to create. I turned my camera to black and white mode and I stopped filming the process because I only had one camera that day, one digital camera that I was using to photograph but also to film. It was a little bit overwhelming. I regretted a little bit that I don't have footage of this day because I took photos that I really like. Out of the 3 days, these were the photos that I wanted to lead myself to. They're really close to my heart and they really look like photos that I was taking when I started photography. They have that vibe and it felt like it woke up a creative part of me that was like sleeping. And yeah, it's pretty much the same process with the other days, so I didn't do something different, so maybe it would be boring for you guys to see it again. These past few days, I pushed myself to overcome challenges, to continue my artistic journey despite the setbacks, despite the rejection and my bad mood, and also my low self-esteem that is not very helpful when you take self-portraits. So I don't know if it's very wise to put yourself in front of the camera when you're at your lowest. Yeah, maybe it doesn't work for everybody. It took me like 3 days to come to my senses and forget my problems and all, but yeah, at the end of the day, maybe it's not easy, but it's worthy and it's also healing in a way. I felt better after that, and by better, I mean I feel closer to myself, closer to a creative part that was sleeping inside of me, capable to create with my camera, that I can express myself with a medium that I like using. Yeah, I think that that's a lot to gain from a self-portrait session. Okay, not one, but like 3 days, but that's how it is. That's how things are. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful in any way, or I don't know, I hope I kept you company. If you're still here, thank you so much. If you made it to this point, it really means a lot. It does mean a lot and I appreciate it deeply. See you guys very, very soon in the next one, and bye!